Hey there, good looking. Great day for a stroll, huh? Or, you know, a thrilling leap. No, I jumped out. Say, I know this is a little sudden, but are you looking to make a bit of gold? Meet me at the Sugar Bowl here in Rimmon. Got some business that might interest you. Talk soon.
Jakar, get back here, you sneaky claw! You there! Did you see a puny Breton run this way? Answer, Akan! The Khajiit will rip out your mewling throat if you do not answer. Now, this one will ask just one more time. Did you see a scrawny Breton running away from this building? Yes or no? This one has claws, eh? If only Akan had time to tear them out. Fine, keep your secrets. But if you breathe a word of this to the guards, the wrath of Tuheba will find you. Eljan, we go!
One of my friends told me that the monks at Two Moons are no longer chasing invisible butterflies. What a relief! I was worried about them.
That is good news indeed. But do we know what happened?
Dancing among the flowers flying, singing a song.
The Sugar Bowl offers a variety of entertainments for the weary traveler. Tell Zadazi, what is your preference? Slow and sweet, or fast and vigorous? Ah, this one is talking about the music, of course.
Sleeping within the dreaming deep, chasing the butterflies he sends, hoping that summer never ends. Sleeping within the dreaming deep, hoping that summer never ends. Sleeping within the dreaming deep. Vistas unfold before me now, sharing their secrets joyfully. They're bright in hue, yet darkly dire. They warm me with softly glowing fire. They're bright in hue, yet darkly dire. They warm me with softly glowing fire. Moving within the world between, following all the
Hey there, good looking. I hope Akan and Eljan didn't give you too much trouble. They're both wanted by the city guards, so I doubt we'll be seeing them in a reputable establishment like this. Now, ready to make more gold than you've ever seen? Job's simple. I need you to search Rimmon's sewers for a barrel hidden near an altar to Clavicus Vile. Under the lid, you'll find a note that lays out Tuheba's current whereabouts. She's the crime boss here in Elsweyr. Kind of a big deal. You talked to her. Typically, I'd lay on the charm personally, but Tuheba and I aren't on great terms at the moment. I need you to smooth things over. She has my friend, see? Fezcar. She'll probably give him up if the price is right. Nothing so romantic. Think of it as a down payment on some valuable information. See, Tuheba hired Fez and I to steal a gem called the Jewel of Bondar for her. Fez stashed it away, but didn't tell me where. We get Fez, we get the gem. Simple. I jumped out. But sure, bit of a tale there. Akon and Eljan, those two charmers you met in the alley, work for Tuheba. They thought I might know where Fez hid the jewels, so they tied me up and worked me over for a while. Right. I tried to tell them they were wasting their time, but you know how thugs are. Anyway, the gangly one, Eljan, is moon-touched. Nice way of saying he's a half-mad sugar fiend. I had some moon sugar in my pocket, as you do, and he found it. He went berserk. Little rascal started climbing the walls. And I mean literally climbing, like a cat up a tree. While Akon was busy prying Eljan off the ceiling, I slipped my buns and went out the window. Easy as sneaking past a moth priest. It's an opal the size of a fist. Never seen anything like it. Unfortunately, it's got some religious significance. That always complicates things. The jewel is a tribute to Bondar, the trickster god. Most every cut person Elsweyr prays to him. Actually, she hired us to steal it back. The Iraxians snatched it up when that Tharn woman took over Rimmen, so really we were just helping the downtrodden thieves and footpads of Elsweyr. Heroic, right? Once we found out how valuable it was, Fez demanded twice the price that Tuheba had promised us. Bad idea, but Fez doesn't really do savvy, you know? Knowing she might take things poorly, he hid the jewel. The rest is very uncomfortable history. And in a sewer, no less, right? Fair question. I know a Khajiit, Naruz. We spent some time together. Very brief, but very intense. Anyway, he works for Tuheba, so he's in the know. I called in a favor, and this is the result. Naruz is a little anxious. Always thinks someone's watching him, you know? Honestly, I can't explain it. Even when we were together, he'd insist we meet up in old abandoned barns and musty basements. Exciting at first, but it got old quick. Trust me, friend, my talents will do us much more good here. Tuheba's gonna want a fair amount of coin for Fezcar's release, especially now that I slipped out of her claws. While you get her location, I'll get the gold we need. Not steal, gamble. Well, alright, sometimes that's the same as stealing when I'm involved, but only because I'm very, very good. Full disclosure, we may need to make a swift exit, depending on how well I do here. It'll probably be fine. Probably.
I tell you, Khajiiti traders are slipperier than buttered eels. Sure, they're all pleasantries and compliments when the negotiations start. But try to cut yourself a fair deal? That's when they show you just how stubborn they can be.
If there are dragons about, you can be sure the dragon priests will follow. The dragons fill these special masks with their power, and then give them to loyal followers. It makes the dragon priests damn near impossible to defeat.
One of my friends told me that the monks at Two Moons are no longer chasing invisible butterflies. What a relief! I was worried about them.
That is good news indeed. But do we know what happened there?
Of course I asked. You know me. It seems that Shikarath was driving the monks insane until someone came along to stop him. Gah! Shikarath, of all things.
Yes, this one does know you. And this one is happy that the monks are more themselves again, chasing invisible butterflies. This one should have known it was the mad cat.
The dragons took everything from this one. Her home, her hope, her future.
Nisuzi welcomes you back, Walker. Did you finish the job? This is fabulous news! Nisuzi thinks it may take some time for the last of the Minotaurs to move on, but the Snake Man's treasures are not going anywhere. Please, take this, Walker, and the blessings of a grateful clan. Nisuzi has coin, if you have the time. An honest day's work for an honest day's pay, yes? Nisuzi's clan often travels by lantern light. Easier to avoid robbers and pesky guards at night, yes? In the past, we fueled our lamps with oil from Darkpool Mine, a cavern to the southwest. But now, we must give it a wide berth. Mad cultists who worship Meruns, the fire cat, took the cave for themselves. We might have been able to sneak around them, but now they summon huge Daedra but are powerful. If you ruin these silly summoning rituals, Nisuzi will pay you handsomely. Off you go, Walker. Swiftly now. Quick work brings quicker pay, yes? Nisuzi finds that it is best to wait until mages fall asleep, then kick dirt on their runes. But these Meruns cultists never sleep. They just chant and wander around hissing at each other. They did seem fascinated by their fires, though. Yes, ritual flames. This one thinks they can use them to call out to oblivion, somehow. If you snuff out the fires, maybe that would be enough. Only one way to find out, yes?
Thank the moons you are back. Older here worries in his old age. So, how went the hunt? Well done, Five Claw. Now Elsweyr's merchants finally have a chance to breathe. You will take this for your trouble, yes? Strong will and good hunting. If you have a strong will and a strong sword arm, Older here has many tasks for you. A necromancer called Danar the Grave Prowler reappeared recently, just southwest of here at Scar's Edge. Don't expect to find some scrawny, dull-fanged wizard rook. Danar is a sentient, as big and as dangerous as they come. Yes, Walker, nothing is ever simple. Many cats lay buried in shallow graves at Scar's Edge, and with Danar near, they grow restless. Take this quieting balm and pour it over their remains. The adepts tell me it should keep the corpses from rising. Good fortune, youngster. Older here waits for your swift return. What more is there to know? He is a wizard the size of a mammoth. Well, Older here exaggerates. Not a mammoth, but certainly a horse. More than in Clawless lands, perhaps. We tend not to take much notice. Magic is magic, yes? Wizards spraying fire from their fingertips are more dangerous than some silly hedge mage reanimating a dead squirrel. At least that's what we're here thinks. Well, he raises greater things than squirrels, for one thing. Bernard is crazy. Maybe even bent, who knows? He sends his corpse puppets to attack sugar farms, hunting camps. It's random, senseless. That's reason enough to kill him, I think.
Over there. The Queen wants them alive.
Akan weaves a song. He'll sing it to you all day long. Will you love him? Will you love him?
Ooh, so close. Better luck next time, friend.
Sauze's meals are very...
Hey, you're back. I was just wrapping up my business with these fine Khajiit. Did you find the note? Where's Tuheba? Huh. Makes sense. We hit the Uraxian treasure caravan just outside Riverhold. She'd want to be as far away from there as possible. Good. Darkpool Mine is in southwestern Elsweyr. Tuheba favors the wilderness, so you may have to search a bit. What can I say? What I lack in charm, I make up for in luck. This gold should more than pay for Fez's release. I'm trusting you to deliver it. You could keep it, sure, but this is pocket change compared to what we'll make on the jewel. Once I settle my accounts with these folks, I'll make my way to the mine. Don't worry about finding me. I'll find you. As for Tuheba, show respect, but stand your ground. She appreciates a little swagger. Just don't overthink it and you'll be fine. All right, cats and kittens. Like my Uncle Edmund always says, best walk while you're ahead. You have yourselves a great night, huh?
Aye, not so soon, Pinkskin. You have yet to play Ibiza.
Look, it's been a real pleasure playing with you, but I got a friend waiting on me. How about we pick things up tomorrow, huh? Double or nothing?
Well, you will at least let Ibiza and Sherjad walk you home, yes? The streets of Rimmon are no place for a lone Breton with heavy pockets.
You know, that's a generous offer, and I'm truly flattered. But you really don't need to worry. I'm spry as a cricket. Pockets light, pockets heavy, whatever.
Enough! Sit, now. Do not take us for fools, Jakar.
Don't worry, good-looking. I've got this handled. Go do what we talked about, huh?
You cheating shaveskin! Get him! Get him! Scour the city! Find that swaggering muskars! You! I saw you speaking with that shaveskin before he fled. Where did he go? Where is Jakarn hiding? Naturally, Jakarn's bosom friend does not see where Jakarn goes. Bah! You outsiders are worse than the Nahatan flu. We will find your cheating friend eventually, Dungwalker. Count on it. Besides the cards that fluttered from his pocket as he ran out the door, you mean? Ibiza knows a cheat when she sees one. And in Elsweyr, cheaters do not pay their debts in gold. They pay in fingers. Keep that in mind, Jeek. You are lucky Ibiza only chases down clawless Jeeks like your friend Jakarn. You may wish to leave Rimmon before this one changes her mind.
cut a striking figure, Walker. There are... you again. How goes your holy work? Then the King of Thieves was watching over you! Let's see. Yes, this will do. Yes. Fine offerings for Rajin. Do not forget yourself when dividing spoils, or Rajin will think you a fool. Good thieves always take their cut. I bless you in the name of the sleek shadow! Fortune and fame are yours for the taking! Is Rajin a god? Do gods not have those who spread word of their deeds? This one is but a humble servant to a more deserving master. Of course, sleek one. This one does not need a temple to bend his god's ear. He will gladly ask for Rajin's favor on your behalf for a humble offering. Or perhaps you wish to hear a sermon. This one can provide objects of faith as well. Come closer, Walker. And this one will regale you with a tale of Rajin. Long ago, on a night of new moons, the dark was so thick that shadows stretched to oblivion. No one dared to brave the night, but one crafty thief. He chose to walk the strands. Just so, on this night, they stretched through the lunar lattice and led the thief toward the faint glimmer of the stars, except the dancing lights were not the stars, but twilight caught in a realm of spun silver. Within, silky voices argued. 3 princes, clothed in shadows, each claiming dominion of the night. The thief drew closer, stepping along the web where the light had not been caught, and listened to their debate. As he crept unnoticed, the clever thief made a plan. He waited patiently, quietly, as the princess talked in circles, learning all he could. Then, when the time was right, he stepped out from the shadows and announced himself. This one knows the night like no other. He would be honored to choose. Risky, for certain. 2 princes, sisters he could see, regarded the thief coolly. But the spinner of the silver web looked upon him hungrily. You are a little touch, little fly, but foolish to come buzzing into the spider's web. Seeing now that the thief was one of her chosen people, the Prince Azura stayed Mafala's hand. By your admission, this one knows the night better than any other. Who better to decide? Or do you fear the truth will be too ugly? All 3 princes agreed that the thief was a most worthy lover of the night, and each told him why they were obviously the best choice. When all was said and done, the thief knew his decision. Knowing she was as vain as she was dangerous, the thief approached Mafala and heaped on her great flattery. My prince! It was the night itself that led this lover to his mistress, so that he could steal a kiss. And so the thief embraced the night. And more so, the thief deftly ran his hands about Mafala, purring sweet nothings in her ear, until his fingers touched upon the thing that really caught his eye, a ring on the finger of her 8th arm. Slipped it from her finger without the slightest notice. Such was the lightness of his caress and the skill of his tongue, and placed it on his own. With that, the thief vanished, and the legend of Rajin, the purring liar, was born. What else may this humble servant of Rajin do for the faithful?
king of thieves. One of your faithful seeks your favor. This one humbly begs you spare a fraction of your ample sleekness for their benefit. Ah! There is a fresh glow about you. You are nearly as dashing Tasalzo once was. Rajin, your faithful hopes to follow your noble example. Lend them one of your many... I bless you in the name of the sleek shadow. Fortune and fame are yours for the taking.
Wait, please! This one needs help! Thank you for stopping, Walker. You seem to be a traveler of some strength, no? Strong enough to help save this one's companions? They are trapped in the nearby oasis, surrounded by walking corpses and deadly fumes. Yes, this one is lucky to have made it out alive, but her companions, not so lucky. Ioka sent Palina to seek aid. He wishes to research the fumes in order to make an antidote, but needs help to do so. He is closer to the ruins, tending to one of our companions. Speak to him to learn more. He is the green one, with many scales. Hard to miss in a land of few Argonians, no?
You have come to Cicatrice in a time of great danger, traveler friend. Toxic fumes permeate the air, and corpses walk among the ruins. It is best to turn away now before you share the fate of my dear companions. We were exploring the nearby oasis caverns when the fumes first began to spread. Only Najira and I were able to escape. The rest of my companions, weakened and disoriented by the poisoned air, ran farther into the caverns of the oasis. I would need to first create an antidote. However, I require samples from corpses that have absorbed the fumes. No easy task, given that something has awoken Cicatrice's dead. They now guard the ruins from any invaders. Thank you for the aid, traveler friend. The undead walk the ruins of Cicatrice, directly to the west. I would advise caution. So much trouble for my egg mother's research notes. I now wonder if traveling to this town was the right decision. When we entered the caverns of the oasis, all seemed quiet. Then, suddenly, fumes began to surround us. The corpses which littered the ground sprang to life and attacked. Najira and I were the only ones able to escape. The fumes must have disoriented them, for they ran farther into the caverns. By the time we found the entrance, Najira could barely walk. Even I, blessed as I am with Argonian blood, began to feel weak. These fumes are most dangerous. Argonians have a far higher tolerance to poison than other races. Due to the nature of our homeland, that is why I was able to escape. But even so, it would be foolish to return to the oasis without first preparing. Precisely. An antidote will both allow us to enter the oasis safely and heal my companions of their weakness so that they may escape. That is why we must work quickly, traveler friend. Once, the town of Cicatrice was a cool blessing within the scalding desert. The oasis beneath the town was clear, and many believed it had power to heal their ailments. The town prospered from these many visitors and the trade they bought. When the Nahatan flu came to Elsweyr, many hoped that the oasis would heal them. They traveled here seeking hope, but brought their ailment with them. The town was quickly overcome with this sickness. Many died. They could not. The reigning monarchs quarantined infected towns in order to stop the disease from spreading. Cicatrice was eventually burned to the ground, and so its people fled to the oasis. Their fate, however, is still unknown to me. When the Nahatan flu devastated Cicatrice, its people fled into the safety of the nearby oasis. They hoped that its healing waters could cure them of the disease. This effort was led by Nikusha, my egg mother. Yes, it is by her letters that I know of Cicatrice's suffering. She was a talented alchemist and hoped to develop a cure for the flu. However, this was many years ago. I do not believe she was successful. I hope to find my mother's research and share her findings. It's very likely she died here, trying to help those who had been so cruelly abandoned. Her great deeds should be shared with all of Elsweyr.
Yeah! She will not sit idle while her friends suffer.
Please, don't be foolish. Najira, wait. I am glad to see you unharmed. Were you able to gather the samples? She fears for our companion's safety. I urged her to wait, for without an antidote she will quickly succumb to the fumes as well. But Najira refused to listen. I must begin my research. However, I still require a blossom of Arce's lash. A cactus with a bright pink flower. It has great medicinal properties. Would you collect a blossom for me? The cactus can be found west of here, in a small glade atop a crag. In the meantime, I'll begin to study the samples you brought. Thank you once more for your aid, traveler friend. After I create an antidote, we can enter the Oasis caverns and rescue my companions. Perhaps even find my egg mother's research notes as well.
Torval seems to regard their newest mane rather highly. To think there would be a day when all of Elsweyr bowed their head to one Khajiit. Not that it's likely to last, of course.
How dare you intrude upon my oasis! Leave this place! Now!
Chief! That's the one from Rimmon. The one that deals with Jakarn.
Is what Akan says true? Do you find common cause with the Breton Jakarn? I should warn you. People who travel with Jakarn rarely meet pleasant ends. Ha! A ransom, is it? And why would anyone pay gold for that foolish backstabber? Ah, let me guess. Jakarn believes Fezkar will lead you to the Jewel of Bandar if you free him. Because they are friends, yes? Adorable. Ha ha ha, you are direct. Good. I will be direct also. Give me this ransom of yours. If it is a fragrant sum, I will tell you where to find Fezkar. Beyond that, I offer nothing. Now, shall we do business, or shall I tell Akan and Eljan to remove you? Fezkar would not give up the gem, so we sold them to a slave trader. The slaver died, but his ledger should contain the name of Fezkar's new owner. Look for it in Darkpool Mine. What is that look? You paid for information, I provided it. Go now. I would be careful in Darkpool Mine, sweet meat. Soft-headed cultists took it over shortly after we sold your friend. That is how the slave trader died. The cultists tug on Maroon's tail, in hopes he will scratch their bellies. Pathetic. Mind your tone. Akkad loves cutting out self-righteous tongues. You are an outsider, so I will assume you speak from ignorance. Bandar rewards the clever and frowns on the clumsy. Fezkar, despite his charms, was clumsy. There you are, spoken like a true child of Bandar. Fezkar and I made a bargain in good faith. Fezkar reneged on that bargain in the dull-witted fashion that is his trademark. His clumsiness and dishonesty made him a slave, not me. From what Akan tells me, Jakarn did not know Fezkar betrayed us. Good news for Jakarn, yes. Return my gem, and I will consider showing your clever friend some leniency. I make no promises, though. No, we could not. This troubles me, because I take great pride in my creativity. People always speak, eventually. But something sealed his lips tight as a drum. Something more than simple force of will. A small-time cut purse withstands hours of aggressive interrogation, then suffers enslavement to protect his prize? A simple gem? No, this does not add up. That jewel has buried its claws in your friend. I do not know how or why, but it has. I did not, but I do now. This will not stop me from claiming it eventually, though. Charms like this only work on weak minds. My mind is far from weak.
Yes, this should do it. My antidote is nearly complete. All I need now is the Arce's Lash Blossom. Were you able to get one? A Nereid? Most peculiar. I wonder if she's somehow connected to the Oasis. But there is no time to speculate while my companions are still in danger. I must deliver this antidote to them. With luck, it will give them the strength to escape. Thank you, traveler friend. I feared to ask, but already you volunteer. Make sure to drink some of the antidote before entering the Oasis caverns. And please, see if you can find my egg mother's research notes. My egg mother attempted to develop a cure for the Nahatan flu when it first struck Cicatrice. I am sure she kept meticulous notes about her progress. Such research will be vital to learning what happened here. Here you are, traveler friend. Let us hope this potion has the desired effect.
You must leave here now. The very air is poisonous. Iokas, I knew he would not abandon us. You must hurry. My companions ran deeper into the caves. Let them know that I'll remain here, ready to tend to them. I will be all right. The fumes have weakened me, but not as much as the others. A blessing of my Argonian blood. I just need to rest a moment more. Please, find my companions quickly. I fear they will not last much longer. Najira should have listened to Iokas. Thank you for saving this foolish one, Walker. She should not have returned.
Please, is anyone there? Thank you, stranger. This one will find her way out.
ready to die here. Did Iokas make this? Rebanji must thank him.
It's just a cough. This one's fine. She's fine.
It's not the fumes. I heard someone in the central chamber.
It is all right, Laratan. I believe you. Thank you for saving my companions. Were you also able to find my egg mother's research notes? They would be invaluable to learning what occurred here. Thank the Hist. I was worried her research would be lost forever. She writes of a Nereid who lives here, and how her research tainted the oasis. I see. This must be the root of all the despair we have encountered. The Nereid once made this oasis a place of healing, but by filling these caverns with sickness and death, it drastically changed her. She must be the one who created these fumes and raised these corpses. I'm afraid that the Nereid must be killed. She poses a threat to all who visit Cicatrice, and by raising the dead she has defiled many. Her death, Hist willing, will also allow this oasis to finally begin to heal. With your help, my egg mother's terrible mistake can finally be mended. Thank you, traveler friend. For now, I'll lead my companions back to camp. Nereids are inherently linked to the body of water they inhabit. The plague victims stayed within these caverns for weeks. Slowly, they tainted the purity of the oasis. What was once a place of healing became a place of sickness and death. Precisely. As the clear waters of this oasis grew polluted, so too did her spirit. Once, the Nereid healed those who came to her. Now she seeks to infect and kill. She embodies the very plague which tainted her. I'm afraid it will still take many years to fully heal the oasis. But killing the Nereid will begin that process. Without her to create the fumes and raise corpses, the oasis has a chance to finally be cleansed.
I won't let anyone corrupt this oasis. Not again. Why couldn't you leave me be? Monsters!
We hurt her, defiled her. Why?
Not good. I was afraid of this. It does my heart good to see you unharmed. I trust the Nereid suffers no longer? In a way, I did learn what happened here. My egg mother sought to create a cure for the plague. Instead, she corrupted the oasis with sickness and death. Everyone in Cicatrice died as a result of that corruption. But I did not journey to Cicatrice to seek her good intentions. There has been much animosity between the Khajiit and Argonian races because of the Nahatan flu. My people are immune to the disease, so many believe we created it. Through her research and sacrifice, I had hoped to bridge the gap between our people, prove that Argonians are not the cold-blooded monsters so many see us as. But sharing what happened at Cicatrice may only strengthen the Khajiit's hatred. I do not know. I must reflect on this. Still, I thank you for all that you've done. You saved my companions, found my egg mother's research, and helped the oasis begin to heal. No small feats to accomplish, traveler friend. May your path be easy and your footsteps sure. The foul wind of our misfortune has turned into a gentle breeze. My companions are recovering well. I will monitor them closely for the next few days and see how they progress. For now, they merely need to rest. I suspect both the fumes and the undead will linger for quite some time. Have no worries, though. I will make sure that its dangers are known to Elsweyr. Hopefully, an effort can one day be made to cleanse it completely. The Khajiit look up to their skies and see dragons soaring overhead. They look across their fields and see bloody battles raging. They have not the time nor resources to cleanse this oasis. Not now. The Nereid was the source of the corruption. It was her power that created toxic fumes and raised the undead. Kept alive, she would continue to do so. Now, the oasis can begin to heal. It may take decades, centuries even, but it will heal. How are our companions, Laratan?
All is well, Egg Brother. Your antidote has helped them immensely.
That's good to hear.
Iokas, were you able to find your mother's research notes?
Yes. Our traveler friend was able to collect them.
And what did they say? What happened to Cicatrice?
Let us speak of that after you've recovered. For now, you need to rest.
Because of your help, our companions live. Still, there is much to do before they are well enough to travel. But do not worry. Iokas and I will tend to their needs.
Thank you for saving this foolish one. She should have listened to Iokas and never gone back into those dreadful caverns. Speaking of our scaly companion, Najira hopes he is all right. He sounds so distraught.
I wonder where he could have gotten to. Headed into Darkpool Mine. Good. For me, I mean. Not for... maybe for you too. Who knows? Maradani could really use a strong set of claws. My partner Hadass and I came here to survey the mine. Plenty of sulfur and oil hereabouts, right? Only catch, the cave's full of cultists. And Daedra. I couldn't tell you what they're doing in there, but judging by the smell, it's nothing good. Still inside! A Daedrath caught us sniffing around, right? Hadass tried to tell it that joke he knows, to make friends, yes? Doubt it worked, but who knows? This one took off running. I feel a little bad about leaving Hadass. Would you look for him? Thanks for the help, Rook. Now, I don't want to alarm you, but with all the oil and sulfur, this mine could... Is there a gentler word for explode? Maybe that's what these Daedra work toward. Joan and Jude, one cataclysm at a time, right? Engineers. We build catapults, ballistae, that sort of thing for the Northern Elsweyr Defense Force. Can't scold people with boiling oil if you haven't got any oil, right? Sulfur's good for blowing things up too. Lucky us, we find both here. Like I said, blow things up. What else would we do with it? That Mascars Euraxia's built more walls than I have hairs. Maradani gets shivers just thinking about watching them collapse. Yeah, this one's too slick and clever to swing claws and swords around. Leave that to the Pomerat and the Sanchez, right? In times of war, the wise stand in the back and throw heavy things. Good motto to live by, yes? Maradani is no scholar, but they look like Mehrunes worshippers, claws of Dagon, right? Had no idea so many of them lived in Northern Elsweyr. You can't let them finish whatever they're working on, Rook. Definitely. Plus, Mehrunes worshippers are the worst. Have you ever met one? Sour, sore-bottom cats, always muttering about fire and ground quakes. Maradani loves blowing things up too, but she doesn't get creepy about it, you know? Give your weapons shot. Close.
Ah!
person! We will turn you to slag!
There you are. Things seemed quieter, so Maradani came to look around. Did you find Hadass? And how about these cultists? I hope you gave them a swift kick in the tail. Stupid Hadass. Always thought he'd die from something silly like falling down a privy. I'll let his family know. And this hammer, scary business, right? I'll deliver it to the Main's priest. They'll know what to do with it. Thanks again, Uruk. Krah! How did you hold this hammer so long? Like hot coal on the paws, right? Maradani just can't drop it in a bucket of water and forget about it, can she? No, I guess not. Ha! Me? No. Maradani will report back to the Northern Elsweyr defense leadership. Then, they'll send a detachment of Senches and Palmar skull smashers to mop things up. Who knows how long that will take, though? There's a war on, after all, right?
You return. Lightly singed, but no worse for the wear, huh? Why do you come back to me? You have what you seek, yes? So it is encoded. What do you want me to do about it? Can you believe the tongue on this one, Bihargo? Oh, you have not been introduced yet. Bihargo is my Sanch brother. He eats people for me. Ha! So serious. I respect your bull-headed insistence, even if it smacks of disrespect. Give it here! It seems Fesgar is as poor a miner as he is a thief. They sold him to another batch of slavers based in the Tangle, an overgrown cavern that Ruddy Fang bandits use as a base. So there, our business is concluded, yes? Off with you.
You were fortunate Tuheba was in a generous mood. Do not presume this means we are friends, outsider. Now go.
Get away! Go, fancy face, or I bite you! Go!
Well, that looked promising. Any conversation with a crime boss you can walk away from, right? So, where's Fez? Did she cut him loose? And she took the gold anyway? For one measly piece of information? Pfft, classic Tuheba. So the Tangle, huh? I know the place. Those Ruddy Fang bandits are idiots, so getting Fez out of there shouldn't be a problem. Of course, we have to find him first. For strapping heroes like us? Of course not. If these outlaws are half as lazy as Bosek's henchmen and Stros Mackay, and they are, they probably keep their slaves close to the entrance. Easier to move them in and out, and easier for us to spring. That's fair. What do you want to know? Can't I want to free him and want the jewel? Look, Fez and I have double-crossed each other more times than we can count, but only over gold. When it comes to life and death, we help each other. Actually, a double-cross is how Fez and I first met. Both. Great thieves think alike, right? We met years ago, in Sentinel. I was taking an inventory of a local merchant ship's valuables when I stumbled across a cat doing the same. That was Fez. After a debate, we agreed to split the loot. He slipped past me and flagged down a guard on the way out. Would have landed me in jail if that guard hadn't been the same one I bribed to get on the ship. The guard arrested Fez instead, and we split his loot. Still, I had to respect the effort. Why? Plenty of reasons. Take your pick. First, the heaps of gold people will pay us to acquire it. Second, it's a Khajiit cultural treasure, and it's always nice to return a cultural treasure, right? Makes you feel all warm and heroic inside. That's the plan. Those bandits in the Tangle probably threw Fez in a cage somewhere. So all we have to do is find him. And hope they haven't killed him. That'd be unfortunate. Tangle's on the other side of the scar. See you there, good looking.
Could you please stop stomping around like that? My head is pounding enough as it is. Sure as bones. We never should have eaten those sugar cakes. Rachin sugar cakes. Our manager, Bacargo, tried to warn us about them, but what kind of band would we be if we paid attention to warnings? Ah, Rigot. The last time I felt this bad was when I tried to beat him in a mead drinking contest. We don't want to let him down, but we can hardly stand, let alone give a performance worthy of the Screaming Mammoths. He needs someone to play, but that someone doesn't need to be the Screaming Mammoths. Take our instruments and sing the song yourself. That cat will never know the difference. There's a lute and a drum in this chest.
Have you found one of my master's treasures? He's always interested in reclaiming what is rightfully his. Really? You look surprisingly sane for someone who's touched all 3 bottles. You must be incredibly resistant to... Well, it's none of my business. I cannot thank you enough. My master will be very pleased. I hope you didn't run into any trouble. Just one. The last person who returned these bottles found them under a pile of corpses. He was so affected by the wine that he purportedly spent the rest of his existence atop that mass of bodies. Fortunately, you seem to be immune to the curse. My master is a connoisseur of cursed collectibles. Wine, jewelry, paintings, people. Here is your reward. If you find more cursed items, please bring them here. I still hope that if his collection grows large enough, he'll no longer need me in it. Thank you again for returning my master's wine. If someone brings me the rest of his cursed collectibles, he might finally let me leave this place. I stole a cursed book from my master, and was punished by being trapped in this exact place, waiting to receive other stolen items. I've stared at this same wall of rocks for years, dreaming of using my legs again, if only to jump from this cliff. Never say his name, stranger. His name is more horrible than any curse. Thank you again for returning my master's wine. If someone brings me the rest of...
Tasnazi knows the Stitches isn't home to you as such, but she's glad to see you visit now and again. She wants you to see it for what it once was, not as you saw it the first time. Keeping the peace among this rogues gallery is no easy thing. Some days Tasnazi almost misses the quiet solitude of exile, but every day she sees the Stitches get a little closer to the Salzo's dream of a safe haven for those who would live free. The Salzo had many friends, not just in the Stitches, but all throughout Elsweyr. Tasnazi has sent word to each of them bearing condolences and the truth of Kazda's betrayal. He'll spend the rest of his days outcast and on the run. Once the tables turned on Kazda, his underlings scattered like rats. Those who were loyal to the Salzo are glad to see them go. Aside from Jubani's complaining and the Averno's wandering hands, Tasnazi has nothing to fear. So far, Tasnazi is up to the challenge, but if she finds herself in need of a helping hand, you can be certain she will reach out to you. For now, all Tasnazi asks of you is that you make yourself at home.
A friend is the only gift that brings joy when returned. Or so the Bandari saying goes. Nazdar has never had much to give besides his friendship, but he can attest it is joy he feels seeing you here again. Nazdar has everything he needs, good health, good friends, and music in his heart. When he looks upon the stitches now, he is inspired. He sees dashing de Salzo's dream coming to life, and the notes flow as vigorously as his blood. He knows his playing is not welcomed by all, but Tasnasi has forbidden the others from throwing things at Nazdar, so long as he does not sing. As the amicable Jazir once said, compromise is cousin to happiness.
There is nowhere better to sleep off a night at the Gulp, a mummer assures you. In this one,
Have one. find me attractive?
A fellow wanderer on the path. Greetings, I'm Vastari. If you plan to explore the Ashen Scar, I'd advise caution. Some dark intention has this canyon in a vice grip. An inopportune time for a visit. Then again, perhaps we're meant to be here. An undead awakening, as intense as it is unstable. The corpses emerge in fits and starts for now. But I can sense more stirring below, hundreds more. If left unchecked, these creatures may spill out into larger Elsweyr, perhaps even lands beyond. Yes, maybe you can. I find myself having difficulty focusing. If the force that reanimates these corpses exerts pressure on the mind as well, that would be profoundly unsettling. I intend to search these ruins for answers. Will you join me? I'm glad to have your company. As I said, something about this place puts me ill at ease. Now, are you ready to proceed? Right. Forgive me. A simple name is hardly sufficient introduction given the circumstances. As I said, my name is Vastari. I'm a mage and loyal servant of Azura, the Queen of Dawn and Dusk. I'm also something of a wanderer, like you. The very same. I find that title rather coarse, but ultimately, titles tell more about the speaker than they do about the subject. Wouldn't you agree? In these lands, she's called Azura, Queen of the Night Sky and Mother to all Khajiit. Love. With Azura, everything begins with love. A love that is fierce, possessive, even cruel, but always true and impossibly deep. I mean no offense, but worshipping dead gods always struck me as a fantastically dull and unfulfilling tradition. Yes, though not as fervently as they used to. A prophet named Ridthari-Datta revealed the secrets of the Riddlethar to the Khajiit some years back, essentially creating a child's religion that sanded down the sharper edges of Khajiiti theology. I always hate to see a rich tradition usurped by a flimsy one, but ultimately it's the Khajiit's choice. What matters is that Azura loves them, and what my lady loves she always reclaims, eventually. It's the site of an ancient Khajiiti temple to Azura, the Temple of the Hidden Moon. I conducted some research on the temple before I set out from Grotwood, but didn't find much. Something happened here that the Khajiit aren't keen to dredge up. Undoubtedly, what little scholarship I did find referred to a sprawling nest of catacombs beneath the temple, filled with Khajiiti dead. The Adepts of the Hidden Moon watched over them, I think. Beyond that, there's nothing. That's the hope, yes. Azura's influence runs deep here, deep and even than whatever malevolent force stirred up the undead. She'll guide us to the answers. Of that I have no doubt. Excellent. Let's be on our way then. The Hidden Moon Temple stands at the very center of the Ashen Scar. The adepts who lived there vanished centuries ago, but the air still crackles with arcane energy, necromantic energy. But there's more. A malice that... By Azura, that sound! Wait! My friend, wait! Forgive me. I didn't expect to face such resistance. Yes, and no. It felt as though I was struck blind and deaf, save for the sound of a beating heart. I think something tried to drive me back, then relented and tried to claim me instead. Oh, there's an intention to it, a greed and a hunger. You seem unaffected. Good. I can't go any farther. Not until I understand the nature of this event. Take these descrying stones and place them throughout the canyon. They'll allow me to perceive this threat from a distance. The 3 stones act in concert, so be sure to place them in a broad pattern that encompasses the whole area. Now, you should set out. The sooner you place the descrying stones, the sooner I can locate the source of this evil. No. Not at all. Truth be told, necromancy is my primary area of expertise. The study of souls, to be more specific. I trust that won't be a problem. So you are. I only hope that you're using your skills for the betterment of Tamriel. Necromancy often makes a meal of less disciplined mages. It's a school fraught with temptations. Of course, I'm not telling you anything you don't already know. An experiment of mine. Expended soul gems reinfused with the smallest trace of my own spiritual essence. They allow me to perceive the world as lingering spirits do, making the invisible flow of animus and magicka visible. Well, for one thing, they'll allow me to conduct my search from far away. No small thing, given what just occurred. Once I see the flow of magicka in this place, I should be able to trace the corrupt energies back to their source. Perhaps. I hope so. At the very least, it will give us a fuller sense of what we're dealing with here.